All of a sudden, I heard my music playing and went through the curtain. As I walked down the ramp, I heard more than 68,000 people suck every bit of air out of the building, creating a vacuum I thought would pull my damn eyeballs out. Then they let out a scream that made my bones vibrate. It was a rush, brother, the biggest rush I could have ever imagined. When I got into the ring and ripped my shirt off, people cheered like crazy. When I flexed my muscles, they went nuts. I said, "Oh my God, this is unbelievable." A couple of seconds later, The Rock came out. They booed him just as we expected, but it was my job as a heel to make sure they ended up cheering him and booing me. That was my job. It was what I was paid to do. I couldn't let The Rock go down the tubes just as they were releasing the Scorpion King. I knew how big this picture was for him. Most wrestlers only get bit parts in movies. The Rock was the first wrestler other than myself to be a featured actor. And it wasn't just big for him. It was big for the whole wrestling business. Okay, I thought, let's do it. To start with, I locked up with The Rock and pushed him down. When he took the big bump, people cheered like crazy. They just went nuts. Then I beat him down with a clothesline and pounded the hell out of him. The fans were definitely on my side. That's when I called the first babyface spot. I said, "All right, now duck my clothesline, bounce off the ropes, and hit me with a bigger clothesline." He hit me with that flying clothesline, and I took a big-ass bump and flipped over and started crawling up the ropes like he killed me. And the people booed him out of the building. They were yelling, "Rocky sucks! Rocky sucks!" At that point, I got scared. It wasn't going to be easy to fix, but I had to do it, and I didn't have a hell of a lot of time. We couldn't walk out of the ring without people cheering for The Rock. What I didn't realize was how wrestling-wise The Rock had already become. Most guys would have panicked in that situation, but not him. Not a guy whose father and grandfather had been stars in the wrestling business even before I got into it. The Rock knew how to use his facial expressions and his physical abilities to turn the fans' reaction around. He acted bewildered, off balance, and little by little, he got the crowd on his side. All of a sudden, the cries of "Rocky sucks! Rocky sucks!" started fading away, and the fans stopped booing him. They were becoming too enthralled with this clash of titans that was going back and forth across the ring. About halfway through the match, The Rock tackled me. I'd recently cracked some ribs, and his shoulder rammed into them hard. I told The Rock that I was hurt. I couldn't breathe. But he wouldn't let me off the hook. He talked me through the rest of the match. "Come on," he said, "stay with me." As a heel, I was telling him to duck the elbow, watch out for the hammer, and he was saying, "Keep going, don't stop." So at that point, we were talking to each other. Towards the end, The Rock was supposed to rock bottom me 3 times and then give me the people's elbow. The first couple of rock bottoms tore me apart, and I whined like a dog that had been hit by a car. He said, "Can you take another one?" I said, "No." The Rock said, "Come on, brother, one more for me." Even though he was a kid, I respected the hell out of him. I didn't want to let him down, so I said, "Okay, let's do it." Then he rock bottomed me one last time. By the time he dropped the people's elbow on me, I was done. I couldn't have taken anything more. By the end of the match, we had the fans cheering for both of us. We gave them a match that will go down as the greatest WrestleMania moment ever. Then we put the icing on the cake. Holding my ribs because they were really killing me, I offered my hand to The Rock. When he took it, the noise in the place was deafening. It was so loud it hurt to listen to it. But it wasn't over. After The Rock left the ring, leaving me there all by myself, my NWO brothers Kevin Nash and Scott Hall showed up. And they were acting like they were mad because I had broken my vow of loyalty to them. The whole deal with the NWO was that we were going to be the Poison, all 3 of us, and if we stuck together, there wasn't anyone who could beat us. We would take Stone Cold out, and then we would take The Rock out, and then everybody else, one by one. But when I was offered a match with The Rock at WrestleMania, I jumped at it. So according to Nash and Hall, I'd let my ego get in the way. And not only did I not kill The Rock, I shook his hand. That really pissed them off, so they jumped me and beat my ass. But The Rock heard the crowd roar, and he knew something was up, so he turned around and got back into the ring to help me. Together, we beat Hall and Nash and cemented our friendship, and Hulk Hogan was a good guy again. Magic can happen when you're out there, brother. Magic. The Rock was perfect, beyond perfect. I was crying like a baby. I'd done something that everybody said I couldn't do. I had showed everybody that doubted me that I was still the man and I could do this better than anybody else. And as I walked up the ramp to leave the arena with this kid who used to hang around the wrestlers' dressing room, I said, "Brother, we knocked that out of the park." All that bull I'd been hearing for the last few years, I could have been hearing it for the rest of my life, but I turned it around. The Rock and I did that. Somewhere along the line, I'll be happy to put this wrestling thing to rest. I mean, I could actually walk away from it now if I had to. I would do it if my wife cussed me out and said, "That's it, you're not Hollywood Hogan. You're embarrassing me running around like an idiot in your trunks." If she told me I was done, I'd be done. It would be over. And it would be okay, because I've done it all. I've proven myself. I put an exclamation point on the legacy and laid all the doubts to rest. I don't have to be in the spotlight anymore. I can be content shaving off my mustache and being just plain Terry Bollea. I can let it go at any time. But right now, it's still of interest to me. It's still a challenge to go out there every night and see if I can get a little bigger reaction than the last time. I know it'll end someday, but it won't be today, brother. It won't be today.